Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ijoma here, and in today's video we are going to learn how to make this beautiful halter neck shirt. The back is tied and then the front is shirt with buttons. Now we are going to do freehand. Yeah, no pattern drafting this time around, just straight up freehand. The first thing that we are going to cut here is the front, and it is going to be a free shirt but not too free. So if you're cutting it, don't cut a shirt that is too big. It will be free but not too free. So now I'll go ahead and fold out the fabric that I will use, and then have it in mind that the length of this shirt should be up to, let's say, your hip length. Yeah, so my shoulder to hip is 27, but I actually made it 28. Okay, so if you are cutting these shirts, you should have it in mind that it will be long. Then I'm sorry, I don't know if my chalk is showing so well, but I believe that you can understand what I am teaching. Now, after marking this line, I cut out the fabric that will be enough for me to cut out the front, and also cut out from the straight line at the top so that all my markings will be straight. Now, the first measurement that I will take is from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10. Then 2 inches above my bust point is 8, and that would be my chest line. Then I also measure from my shoulder to my half length 17, and then the full length of the shirt is 28 inches. And I'll go ahead and mark 28 inches and then add 1 inch for hemming. You know, shirts normally comes with a tiny hem. All right. So I will rule my vertical lines first of all. Ignore my tacky nails. Then after reading these vertical lines, I'll start taking my body measurement. So for the body measurement, what I'm going to do is that if I divide my bust by 4, I'll add only 1.5 inch to it for ease, or just 2 inches, but 2 inches is even too much. So once you divide your bust by 4, add extra 1.5. Then for the neckline, I marked 3 by 3. I marked 3 inches, and for the width I marked 3 inches also. So the next thing that I am going to do is to the first thing I'm going to do is to mark out my button allowance. So for my button allowance, I used 2.5. You can see from the center of this fold that I marked here, I marked out button allowance because this is shirt and we are cutting out the front first of all right? So after doing that, you are going to leave out this 2.5 that I marked here. Like, if you're taking any measurements, just know that this 2.5 is not part of the measurements you are taking because it is shirt. Okay, now from this line that I marked, now I will start taking in other measurements. You can see I added 1 inch to my full length for allowance. Now my neckline is 3 by 3 and the measurements are starting from that line, so I'll go ahead and connect my 3 by 3 measurements, and I'll also extend the line to the button allowance. All right, the next thing is my bust measurement. So my bust is actually 36 divided by 4. That is supposed to be 9. I added extra 1 inch or even 1.5 to it. Like I said, it is not going to be a free shirts like that. Then my waist divided by 4, I added extra 1.5. My at the full length, I divided my hip by 4 and I marked. So now I am going to connect from my waist to my bust, and then from my bust I will use the curvy side of my ruler to connect to the full length. Now this is a halter neckline. From our neck width, you can see that the width of our neckline is 3 inches, right? So after curving the hemline, I want the hemline of my shirt to be a little curvy, like from the full length, come up by 2.5 at the side or 2 inches and then curve it. Now for the halter neckline, I will connect from my neck width. I will leave like 0.5 inch allowance from my neck width and then connect it down to my bust point, not armhole line. No, you will connect it down to your bust point line. You are going to use the curvy side of your ruler to mark because it is halter. So from your bust point line, you are going to curve to that 3 inches width. You know, the neck width is 3 inches. You will connect from that bust point to the 3 inches. Now after doing that, we are going to cut out our neck. Our neck is 3 by 3, right? We are going to cut out our neck and then open up the zipper allowance because this is shirt. not zipper allowance, button allowance. So you open up this button allowance, and this is all for the front. The back is going to be easy. So for the back is going to be a long fabric that you will tie. The only thing you need to do is that you will have to make sure that the front and the back are equal at the side. So this is the long fabric that I'm going to make use of. If you remember this fabric, if you are following my channel, you remember that I used this particular fabric for a boo-boo gown. Now I am transforming it to a shirt, and I love the color. Like, I love the neutral feel of this color. Now I will place two long pieces together. The only thing you need to make sure is that the side seam of the front and the side seam of the back are equal. They will meet each other. So now, after placing this my straight fabric, I'll bring my front panel to make sure that the they are equal at the side. So you can see what I have here. Of course, they are equal. So using this front panel, I am going to trace out my back. All right, now I'll place it this way and then trace out the curve the front has. Just trace out the curve the front has. Then from there, you are going to make a straight cut. So now I'll go ahead and cut this place out. And for the rope that I'm going to tie, just make sure that it is up to 40 inches long. From this side seam, make sure that it is up to 40 inches long. So I measured mine and I have up to 40 inches. I want it to flow very well at the back. So now that I've gotten the length, the 14 inches, I'm going to, like, from the side, I'm going to slope, like make it slopey. I'm going to like trim it down a little so that it will be slopey. After cutting that out, that is going to be all for the back. You don't need to take any other measurement. The back is open. Now I will pin this side to the side of the front. This is one that I'm going to tie. So now I'll get back my front piece and I'm going to place these two pieces of the back on the sides of the front and then pin them together. So these are the front pieces. If I go to my sewing machine, I will hem my button allowance. Like, I'll just fold it in by 1 inch for the button allowance. I don't want to be going to and fro, so I'll do everything once. If I go there, I will fold in my button allowance. Of course, this is shirt. You fold in button allowance, and then you also fold the other side. Then after folding that, you will shape the front and the back. You can use just 1/2 inch to join the front and the back pieces. So it is for you to just pin those pieces that you are going to tie at the sides and then join straight up. So once I am done shaping the sides, I will just use 1/2 inch to hem everywhere. The armhole side, the full length of the top, the rope side. I'll just use 1/2 inch to hem everything. So you can see my hemming. I just piped everything. I folded everything. Now the zipper, the button allowance is also folded. You can see the armhole. I have hemmed the armhole. I hemmed the full length. Everything is just tiny hemming. So there's no need for facing on all that. That's why I did everything once and for all. So now the next thing that we are going to do is to cut out our collar. Now that we are done shaping the sides, we are going to measure our neckline. So I measured my round neck. You place a tape around your neck to get your neckline. So I measured my round neck. My round neck is 18 inches. I want it to be free. It is shared, so you don't have to make the measurements tight. My round neck is 18 inches. And then I'll come back to the front of the shirt. You know, the front is the only place that has a neckline. Now I'll measure each side of the front. I will place my tape around each neckline. Okay, so when I measured each neckline of this shirt, I got 6 inches. So 6 inches times 2, because the right hand side is 6, the left hand side is 6. So 6 times 2 is 12. And then my round neck is 18, right? So what it means is that 18 minus 12, I'll be left with 6 inches, and that 6 inches will be for the back. All right, but that is not what we are here to do. What you are going to cut out your collar is 18 inches. So I measured 18 inches for my round neckline. I'm going to use 18 inches to cut out the collar. So from the center of the paper, I placed 18 inches divided by 2, that is 9, and the collar stand is 1.5. So the height of this collar stand is 1.5. This is 1.5. Then from the center front of that collar, I will go backwards by 1.25. My button allowance is 1.25, and from that 1.25 I curved, and then my main collar is going to be 2.5 inch wide. Like, the height of my main collar is going to be 2.5 inch. So I connected this straight up, and then from that curve that I made, I'm going to make a slanted line like this and then connect. Then at the center back of the collar, I'll come down by 0.5 inch and slant it. So this is the collar stand and this is the collar. If you are confused, you can slow down the speed of this video. Yes, you can slow down the speed of the video. So I'm going to make a one-piece collar. I don't want to make two-piece collar. I'm going to make a cut together collar. So this collar, I'm going to cut it out on one fabric straight up. I don't want to like cut it into pieces. If you want to make a two-piece collar, you can make a two-piece collar. But for me, I don't want to make a two-piece collar. So now this is the fabric that I'm going to use. I will cut out 2 pieces for that collar. One will serve as the main fabric, one will serve as the lining, and of course all of them should be from this particular fabric, right? So what I'm going to do now is to add 1/2 inch round my collar. I'll add 1/2 inch round my collar and then cut out. So now that I'm done cutting out, I will add hard interface to the both pieces so that my collar will be strong. So I'll go ahead and add my hard gum. After adding the hard gum, I use 1/2 inch to close the sides of this collar, not the down part. So now I am done adding the hard gum. I will use 1/2 inch to close the sides of the collar and then leave the down part open. The top of the collar, you close it, the sides you close it, but the down part will be open because that's the side that you are going to attach to your neckline. So after doing this, I will go ahead and iron. So you can see what I have. I folded it and ironed it. Looking at it, you would think it's 2-piece, but it is 1-piece collar. So I left the down part open. The down part of this collar is open. So now I will get my shirt. Once I get my shirt, the only place I know is the front necklines, right? So, or you open up the down part of your collar. You can, let me open it so that you will see what I mean. The down part of my collar is still open. So I will open it. I folded in 1/2 inch for joining it to this neck. So I'll open the collar and insert the neckline. I will insert till wherever it stops at the side. Then I'll also insert the other collar, the other side of the shirt. Okay. So now that I am done doing this, I will go ahead and stitch down, and the open part of the collar, let me open it up. You also stitch, you can see the back of that collar is just hanging, it is not on anything. I will just go ahead and sew a straight line, and at the end of the day, this is what we have. I hope this tutorial is helpful. If you want to register for our online classes, I will drop a link to the WhatsApp here. We have over 20 online classes, detailed. When I say detailed, very detailed online classes. Do not forget to subscribe. Bye.